This is Stacy. It's Thursday, 3:15 my time, January 5th, 2017. I received an update from It Matters How You Stand, an article. Let me zoom in a little bit here. An article from the Review Journal claiming that there are politicians that are so angry over what Obama has done, turning this 300,000 acres of Gold Butte region in Nevada, turning it into a federal monument. Okay, so what they did U.S. Senator Dean Heller and U.S. Representative Mark Amati, both Republicans of Nevada, filed a bill in the Senate and House to stop these unilateral federal land grabs, regardless of which political office holds the White House. The lawmakers have titled the bill the Nevada Land Sovereignty Act. Well, first and foremost, they can pass whatever they want. Whoever's sitting in that president's seat, it also has the power to veto it. But here's an issue I want to show you guys. I did some research on this. And if you remember, just like in the Oregon case, the men being held here in Nevada right now, they also filed motions and discussed in a hearing a few weeks ago about the subject matter jurisdiction. Whatever is going on between Clive and Bundy, these men, and the federal government, they're claiming that the federal government had no jurisdiction. And in Article 17 of the Nevada Constitution, I want to show you guys something, okay? Article 17, schedule. It does cover subject matter jurisdiction, and it was transferred to the state of Nevada when the territory joined the Union as a state, okay? And here's Section 1. It says, saving existing rights and liabilities, that no inconvenience may arise by reason of a change from a territory to a permanent state government. It is declared that all rights, actions, prosecutions, judgments, claims, and contracts, as well of individuals as of body corporate, including countries, towns, and cities, shall continue as if no change had taken place, and all proceed which may issue under the authority of the territory of Nevada previous to its admission into the Union as one of the United States, shall be as valid as if in the name of the state of Nevada. And it says the territorial laws are to remain in effect up until the legislature repeals them or they expire. Section 3, fines and penalties. All fines, penalties, and forfeitures accruing to the territory of Nevada or to the people of the United States in that territory shall inure to the state of Nevada. Do you guys see this word right here, inure? Let's look at the definition of inure. Right here. To result, to take effect, to be of use, benefit, or advantage to an individual. So in this case, it's supposed to benefit the state of Nevada, okay? And when you scroll down here, it says, all criminal prosecutions and penalties, let me scoot it up so you guys can see this. All criminal prosecutions and penal actions which may have arisen or may arise before the change from a territory to a state government, and which shall then be pending, shall be prosecuted to judgment and execution in the name of the state. So if these guys have any issues, okay, if the issues were way back then, when the territory became a state, all of a sudden the prosecution would be done in the name of the state. State of Nevada versus Clive and Bundy. Okay, well, this is after the territory has become a state. Okay, so it's still supposed to be, the judgments and execution are still supposed to be in the name of a state, which is the state of Nevada. All offenses committed against the law of the territory of Nevada before the change from a territory to a state government, and which shall not be prosecuted before such change may be prosecuted in the name and by the authority of the state of Nevada. Do you see this? All actions at law in suit and equity and other legal proceedings which may be pending in any of the courts of the territory of Nevada at the time of the change from a territory to a state may be continued and transferred to and determined by any court of the state, which shall have jurisdiction of the subject matter thereof. All actions at law is the same thing. All suits in equity is the same thing, guys. Okay, so subject matter jurisdiction was turned over to the state of Nevada when Nevada became a state. Okay, it's in the articles in the Nevada Constitution. Article 17, Section 3 and Section 4, you can see that the state of Nevada has subject matter jurisdiction. The federal court, okay, does not have subject matter jurisdiction over actions that are happening within this state. Okay? And also because it doesn't even matter. I mean, Cliven Bundy's portion there that he was grazing on, where he has grazing rights and water rights that are registered with state of Nevada, used to be a part of Arizona. To me, that doesn't even matter, because this tells me, Article 17, Section 3 and 4 tells me that everything, criminal, all actions at law, all suits in equity, everything, all the legal proceedings that were pending and not pending were turned over to the state of Nevada, and it should be at the benefit of the state. Okay? So the same thing goes here with this here. Okay? This is all political play. It doesn't mean anything that these reps and this senator are going to file another bill. Let's file another bill. This is our answer. Let's look like we're doing something. The law's already there. Go to the Nevada Constitution. You don't have to file shit in the U.S. government. Okay? The Nevada reps here at the state level should be filing something, because Article 17, Sections 3 and 4 of our Constitution are being violated. We have subject matter jurisdiction, the state does, over these lands, over everything, guys. We have jurisdiction, the state does, okay? And if the state don't have it, then we the people do. So it doesn't matter how or why the federal government has continued to manage these lands, for so long. The truth of the matter is that there's a conflict of jurisdiction here. Because the state has acted so passive for so many years, the federal government has continued to do whatever they wanted to do. And I wanted to show you something else too, okay? Because this whole thing, the Nevada Constitution, there's an ordinance here. People only read a part of it, okay? And it's the ordinance. This ordinance right here, it says, that the people inhabited said territory do agree and declare that they have forever disclaimed all rights and titles to unappropriated public lands lying within the said territory, and that the same shall be and remain at the sole and entire disposition of the United States. Okay? Because they were supposed to dispose of these lands. It was their job to dispose of them. Not in compliance with the agreement that's written here in the Nevada Constitution. And it's not just that. It is this one here. I'm going to show you guys something else. Right here. Senate Joint Resolution number 27, the Committee on Natural Resources, file number 189, and they filed this on, where's the date? I can't find the date. Usually there's a date here somewhere. But it says the state of Nevada has a strong moral claim upon the public land retained by the federal government within Nevada's borders. And whereas on October 31st, 1864, the territory was admitted to statehood on the condition that it forever disclaimed all rights entitled to unappropriated public land within its boundaries, and including Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, received approximately 11%. Okay, so we can go on through here, but here it is. The intent of the framers of the Constitution of the United States was to guarantee of each state's sovereignty over all matters within its boundaries. Okay? So did the Nevada Constitution. Okay? They wanted to guarantee to each state sovereignty over all matters. Subject matter jurisdiction, guys. It's right there. So, the fact that you have a senator and you have a state rep sitting in Washington, D.C. that's filing another bill, they still don't get it. This is not a federal matter. This is a state matter. And I would like to know where the state legislators are and what they're doing about it. Because according to this amendment, they have withdrawn consent since 1993. They withdrew consent. Here it is, right here. 1993 Statute, Nevada, page 3136, file number 188. Okay? So, the people have voted. The legislators have decided. Now, what are you guys going to do about it? It's not enough but just to put the shit in writing. But our legislators in our state have to get up off their ass and enforce this law, because it is a state law. And if they take a look at our Constitution, Article 17, Sections 3 and 4, the state was given subject matter jurisdiction over all cases and actions. So why the federal government is allowed to prosecute these guys when I don't see the state of Nevada's name on those papers anywhere? So, how is the state of Nevada benefiting from this? They're not. So it's not in error of the state of Nevada. So the suit itself is bullshit. And so for them to continue to file these, these proclamations, I proclaim that 300,000 acres in Nevada is going to be a monument. That's bullshit, guys. It's all for show, and if you believe it, then they're going to continue to do it. There is another issue, is I can just Google this real quick for you guys to see it. I don't remember the artist's name. Talk about this. But you see these photos here. This is really sickening. Harry Reid's bill. Okay, now this was in 2014, 2015. Okay. A bill quietly introduced in Congress would restrict mining and energy exploration over a sweeping area in rural Nevada, preserving scenic valleys and buffering a landmark piece of desert artwork. Okay? It's for nothing. It's not preserving scenic valleys. What this is for is this guy did a humongous piece of art out in the Nevada desert. Okay? And he wants to... The Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid last month introduced legislation to withdraw 805,000 acres of federal land in Garden Valley and Coal Valley, straddling the Lincoln and Nye County lines, a desolate area covering about 1,250 square miles. Okay? And he got it. In 2015, Obama signed it into law. It wasn't quite 800,000 acres, but I want to show you guys a picture of this because they are celebrating it. And who is there with them celebrating this? President Obama, Michael Heitzer, that's the artist's name. Harry Reid and Michael Govan, he was pushing for this on Michael Heitzer's behalf. It doesn't get any better than this. Friday, you may have read, President Obama signed a proclamation establishing the Basin of Range National Monument, some 704 acres of land in Nevada that included all sorts of fossils, as well as Michael Heitzer's gargantuan work, City, which he has been building since 1972. Okay? All these articles mention his artwork. They don't quite show you guys what they are actually preserving. You guys have got to see this. I'm sorry, I'm a little disorganized. I was finishing up some financial reports for the end of the year, and I got this email from It Matters How You Stand, and it just set me off again, so I've got to just kind of do this on the rush. Okay, here we go, guys. This is what we're preserving. It's about it. It's ugly as shit. Take a look at this. You guys see this? What does this look like?
More than 40 years, teams of construction workers have been working in the desert, carrying out the vision of a singular artist. They're making one of the biggest sculptures in human history, and it's so top secret, almost no one in the area has seen it, except for our John Hollenhorst. You've seen it from a distance. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, you know, to call this thing monumental in scale, that's an understatement. It's a mile and a half long. It's located about 130 miles west of Cedar City, about 100 miles north of Las Vegas, and after 42 years, it's suddenly controversial.
The artist chose as his canvas a vast desert 30 miles or so from the nearest paved road. It's not far from the infamous secret military base, Area 51. In the closest towns, dozens of miles away, some say the ongoing art project is even more secret than Area 51.
Sometimes the guys will come in and say they've been working on it, but nobody's really said what it looks like or anything like that.
Curtis Frainer was offered a construction job on the gigantic sculpture way back in 1972.
Really, I figured it'd flop in 6 months.
42 years later, a dozen construction workers travel this road 4 days a week, heading for a location that's famous among modern art lovers, but nearly unknown to the public. The huge artwork is all but invisible, just a distant view of some kind of horizontal disturbance in the desert. Few are invited through the closed gate by the artist.
Rembrandt was the same. He didn't like people coming into the studio and seeing the paintings before they were finished.
We spoke by phone with Michael Govan, director of the Los Angeles County Museum of Art.
This is one of the most ambitious artworks ever envisioned, certainly in the United States.
Govan is chief fundraiser and financial collaborator of world-renowned avant-garde sculptor Michael Heizer. He rarely talks to the media, but he was featured a decade ago in the New York Times Magazine. Heizer's mammoth masterpiece in the desert is called City.
It was in 1994 when I first saw it unfinished, and you do cry. You think, what an incredibly beautiful ambition.
Heizer pays some of the best wages in the region, so a lot of his employees are afraid to talk for fear of getting fired.
He keeps to himself most of the time.
Logan Reifsnyder agreed to talk to us because he decided to quit. City is visible on Google Earth.
A lot of dirt hills covered in gravel.
It looks like an airport under construction.
A lot of concrete curbing around the hills.
1.5 miles long, 500 yards wide.
There are roads around the hills. It would look like a city if you were driving through it.
There are just a few very interesting photos of Michael Heiser's city. We don't have the right to show them to you full screen, but you can see them for yourself on the internet.
The way that he does the mounds and everything, there has to be some sort of artistic idea behind it. There is one sculpture out there, it's a concrete L, that the way, I don't know how they did it, it was there when I got here. It does look like it's floating in the air.
Govin says Heiser's masterpiece is nearly finished. He provided us with just 3 images. To the art world, Heiser is one of the leading figures in what used to be called the land art movement. Govin says the city project calls to mind everything from Mayan architecture to industrial mining.
He had combined this ancient art history with modern technology. There's so much to this artwork that is innovative, powerful, American.
I'm not into the whole land art type of thing, so it's a little weird for me.
Heiser has already spent more than $25 million donated by foundations and art lovers.
It's probably, worth it to him.
It's absolutely worth it because this will rank higher in my mind in our history than many things that cost a lot more.
It don't serve no purpose other than something to look at.
Well, now the controversy. Senator Harry Reid recently introduced a bill that would protect 800,000 acres around the sculpture from oil and gas drilling, a sort of buffer zone for the artwork. Some people in the energy industry and area landowners are getting upset about this. A political fight may be shaping up.
If he ever finishes it, I hope they call you back so you can get
They say its completion is imminent.
Okay, this is what they're preserving. He went out there and he did this with bulldozers. There's a concrete truck out there. I mean, totally disrupted the natural habitat out there. Dug gargantuan holes out there. They're not concerned with preserving and protecting anything other than this sculpture here. Almost 800,000 acres to preserve this. Because Harry Reid says, oh, wow, it's so awesome. It's ridiculous. It was all done in secret, guys. You can't even see this thing from this big, huge thing that he built. You can't see it from the street. Can you guys see that? Does that look like it should even be out there? Does it look like it should even be out here in the desert? Look at the backdrop, and then he builds this berm all the way around it so it's secret, okay? Senator Harry Reid. What Michael Heiser has done is about as visionary as anything that one can imagine. It'll be there for a long time. It's going to be there forever. Out in our desert. Okay? There it is, guys. That's a part of it. And there is Senator Harry Reid with the artist. Okay? Now, here's the twisted thing about it. Heitzer's project, or Heitzer's project, there is a foundation. It is called Triple... what is it? Triple Aught. Triple Aught Foundation was set up strictly for selling and raising funds for this man to do his work. If you look into Triple Aught, there's only two people that run it. There's a female with Michael, with Michael's last name, and then there's Michael. That's it. And of course, they draw a salary from that foundation. Here we go. Michael Hitzer City, Triple Aught. So he's the founder, but he's not really. It's a subsidiary of a bigger foundation that's helping fund this thing. But it is the most ridiculous thing in the world, and the reason why I'm telling you guys about this story is because it didn't get much attention on YouTube. It didn't get a lot of attention on the internet, period. And it happened last year in 2015. But Harry Reid was secretly scheming to have this done all along. This man cannot tell me that this big, huge art project out in the middle of the desert that is now part of a national monument is going to benefit the state of Nevada or the people any. This benefits one man, and this is the artist. And if you look at Triple Aught, they had I did some research. They actually had lobbyists lobbying on their behalf. I can't remember the name of the lobbying firm, but you can look it up. All the information is here. But what you'll find out is, if you look, what you'll find is that the lobbying people donated $20,000 to Senator Harry Reid back in 2012. And that lobbying company, now you've got someone that's working for Harry Reid. Harry Reid's retired now, so this person's leaving his staff and is going to go to work for that lobbying firm that has, was peddling money to Harry Reid all along. So it's a great setup that they have. But the issue is they can't prove what they're doing benefits the state of Nevada, or it's for the state of Nevada. They cannot prove that it's for the benefit of the people or that it benefits the people. This is the most ridiculous, outrageous thing. And the fact that the state of Nevada is putting up with it should anger the people and the residents. Okay? They need to get off their butts and do something about this and start enforcing the laws in the Nevada Constitution. This is not going to resolve itself in Congress or at the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. It ain't going to happen. This is a state issue, and the state reps need to start working on this and get it resolved before more people get hurt, before more land is given away or dolled off or made into these national monuments. We need to put a stop to it. So, okay, now I feel better. Okay, guys, that's it. I've got to get back to work, and I just want to let everything's going good with the house that we got for the women and children that are going to be coming into town in February. So we're busy. We have some cleaning, organizing, furnishing to do of the house. But I haven't forgot about you guys, and I am in the background paying attention to the subjects and the topics being covered. I just don't always have time to respond to them right now. But I've continued to hear about this land issue, this monument in Nevada, almost on a daily basis. Something's put out about it. And I just wanted to kind of give you guys my take on the whole thing. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.